Welcome to part 2 of multiplying decimals by decimals. For each product, write the decimal point in the correct place. 3 45/100 times 2 5/10. And then they've given us the answer without the decimal points. We have 8625. We have to find the number of decimal places in the factors. So if we look, 3 45/100 has 2 places to the right of the decimal, and 2 5/10 has 1 place to the right of the decimal. So we have 2 places in the 3 45 plus 1 in the 2 5/10 equals 3 decimal places. So we should have 3 decimal places in our product here. So they put the decimal in between the 8 and the 6. And we can estimate to check by rounding both numbers to 3 and checking it's about 9. And we have 8 and 625 thousandths. So in this case, we know our estimate and our regular answer are matching up, so we know we're probably in the right place. And right here is all of the work done out for you for that problem. So for 1 and 2, we're going to follow the same steps to write the decimal point in the correct place for each product. So we have 21 6/10 times 8/10. So we have 1 decimal place in each one of our factors. So 1 decimal place plus 1 decimal place equals 2, so we're going to need 2 decimal places in our answer. Which means in this case, the decimal is going to go between the 7 and the 2. For number 2, we have 4/100 times 8. So we have 2 decimal places in the 4/100 and 0 in the 8. So 2 plus 0 equals 2. So since we have 2 decimal places total in both our factors, we need 2 in our answer. So we're going to place our decimal point right in front of the 3. So our answer is 32 hundredths. All right, so we're going to work the next 4 problems together. So the first thing to remember when multiplying by decimals is just to ignore the decimal point and just to multiply the numbers like you would if they were whole numbers, and then worry about placing the decimal point at the very end. So 4 times 8 is 32. We're going to put the 2 down, carry the 3. Four times 0 is 0, plus 3 is 3. And then 4 times 5 is 20. Now we're going to look at our 2 factors. We have 2 places after the decimal in the first number, 1 place after it in the second number. So we need 3 places after the decimal in our product. So it's going to go after the first 2 and before the 0. For number 4, we're going to multiply across. So we have 2 times 5 is 10. We're going to put the 0 down, carry the 1. Then 2 times 0 is 0, plus 1 is 1. And 2 times 7 is 14. Now we need to figure out where to place the decimal. We have 1 decimal place after the decimal in 70 and 5/10, and we have 2 in 2/100. So again, we need 3 in our answer. So it's going to go after the first 1 and before the 4. For problem 5, we're going to start with the 7 and multiply across. So 7 times 2 is 14. Put the 4 down, carry the 1. Then 7 times 4 is 28, plus 1 is 29. So we're going to put the 9 down, carry the 2. Seven times 3 is 21, plus 2 is 23. So we're going to put the 3 down, carry the 2. Finally, 7 times 1 is 7, plus 2 is 9. Next, we're going to cross out the 3 numbers across the top because we've already used them. Then, because we're moving over a place value to multiply, we're going to put a place holding 0 directly below the 4. Then we just multiply through just like we did with the 7. So 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 3 is 6. And 2 times 1 is 2. Now we're going to add our 2 partial products. So 4 plus 0 is 4. 9 plus 4 is 13. Put the 3 down, carry the 1. 1 plus 3 plus 8 is 12. We're going to put the 2 down, carry the 1. 1 plus 9 plus 6 is 16. We're going to put the 6 down, carry the 1. And then 1 plus 2 is 3. Now we have to figure out where to put the decimal. In 1 in 342 thousandths, we have 3 places after the decimal, and 2 in 7 tenths, we have 1 place after the decimal. So we need 4 places after the decimal in our product, which means our decimal is going to go between the 3 and the 6. Finally, last problem here. We're going to multiply 4 times 8, which is 32, so put the 2 down and carry the 3. 4 times 0 is 0, plus 3 is 3. Finally, 4 times 9 is 36. Now we need to figure out where to place the decimal. So we know we have 2 places after the decimal in both factors, so we need 4 places after the decimal in our product, which means the decimal is going to go all the way in front of the numbers we have there. Then we're just going to add that 0 in front of the decimal point just so we can find our decimal and we know that's a number less than 1. Please make sure you've copied down all the work, and please make sure both worksheets from Part 1 and Part 2 are glued in your math notebook.